Hello, and welcome to the Reetin Entertainment Podcast, episode 383 for January 15th, 2023. Joining me this week, we have a man who is 6'5" tall, and you can't teach that, Connor the Cyberpunk Monk Besh.
That's not my name. No, I'm the human spider. Call me the human spider.
The human spider Besh. And then we're also joined by somebody who is so prim and proper, he goes out of the shower to use the urinal, Andrew Rowe McFain.
I don't have a urinal in my house.
Did you use an AI to write your intro this week or something? What's going on?
Yes, Chat GPT. Oh, we should try that some point.
Be great.
Okay, assistant, can you just do my podcast for me?
That'd be great.
then we
It'd be
could
just like the new Velma show.
I saw there was it's not something we're gonna do a story on, but it's like Microsoft or Intel. I think it was Microsoft did like an AI voice thing where it would like take actual 3 seconds of voice samples and they could like accurately just like get somebody's voice. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait until that happens, and then I don't need you guys anymore. That's
right, Nathan. Good one.
Thank you very much. Anyway,
what do you do whenever it starts going right up? That's really funny. That's really funny. That's really funny. That's really funny.
Stop it.
That's some good audio.
Yeah. Anyway, where can we find you? Now, this is what you actually need to do, is make a recording of this, because where can we find you guys?
That's actually not a bad idea, is to have a drop for this. You could find Aroa and I's relevant social media links at aroa.website. One of those links I want to draw your attention to is Clinton's Core Classics, the Rise of the Runelords First Edition Actual Play Podcast.
We just need to get that part where you whore Clinton's Core Classics. And
I don't remember if I said it last time. Thanks again, Aroa, for doing that while I was miserably sick at the end of last year.
Yeah. And, of course, you can find me, Nathan Reetin Spruth, everywhere at Reetin. I'm on Twitch Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time to 9 p.m. Pacific time. I also upload these podcasts on YouTube and everywhere you can find podcasts. So we're on Spotify and Amazon and iTunes, and if you could leave a review, that'd be great. But we're gonna move on, and we're gonna ask Aroa what games you played this week.
World of
Warcraft.
I've been playing that World of Warcraft, that old devil.
How long has that game been out? Is it 19 years now?
I
want to say it came out in 2004, maybe 2005.
This might be year 19.
That's what I was thinking.
I think last year's anniversary was 18. So
yeah,
that would make sense.
November 23rd, 2004. Yep.
I've been very casually playing. It's basically a Hatsune Miku skin of Picross.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Very good.
Yeah, it's Picross, and it has a really nice little feature where you can. So like every Picross game lets you mark squares that aren't going to have any color in them, but this one also lets you mark squares that might have color in them.
Ooh.
Which is really handy, because one of my main techniques is finding out how many squares in a row or column have to have color in them because of how many number is next to them.
I see. Well,
Hello, I am a 45-year-old man.
You're not 45. You're like 30.
I am 30 as of Tuesday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
I got you nothing. Nothing at all.
That's okay. Life gave me nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Your grandma probably got you a lot of stuff, though. Well, we like Grandma McFain. Anyway,
I like Grandma McFain. Great lady.
Thanks for Just fucking. Oh wait, you say my last name at the beginning of every episode. What
Yeah.
am I talking about?
Thanks for
Like,
doxing me. Like what?
Thanks for fucking doxing me, asshole.
And then Connor, what games have you played?
Okay, I've been talking about last week how I've been doing something that we've been calling Lacen in Halo Master Chief Collection. That's
Oh,
new
I thought you were
last now.
talking about drugs.
Oh yeah, man, I'd like it's pretty up there next to Crocodile and I don't know, man. Faces it. No, I don't know where I'm going with this bit. It's Halo Master Chief Collection Legendary Mode, all skulls on, including the new skulls, hence the N and Lacen, Lasso, and what? Why I'm not the best at naming stuff sometimes. Anyways, Halo ODST finished. It was okay. We had some challenges, but it was all right. Halo 3, pretty damn hard, but we pulled through it. Halo CE, this one is really testing me.
Oh yeah. Halo
These
2.
missions-
Halo 2, the first mission in Halo 2 is insane. In my
the,
I'm sorry.
the one that I'm really worried for as far as like all the Halos is concerned is Gravemind. I think
Yep.
that one is going to be very I mean, people are going to be throwing grenades like crazy. There's extra boom damage. There's some places in the map you could skip if you were good, but with things just kind of instantly noticing you like the way they do now, I don't think we're going to be able to pull it off.
Well, and the library in Combat Evolved. That's
We
gonna
actually
be-
just finished Library.
Oh, okay, good. Was that good or bad?
The first time we did it, we got about 5 hours and we had to call it. Second try, we got it in about an hour and a half.
Well, that's good.
If one was so inclined, these are actually being recorded and put up on YouTube, where just to have evidence of that we did it. And the plan is to be the first in the world.
Oh, good.
So
Good luck.
You probably got like a week left if you want to snipe it from us.
Good luck. And did you play anything else?
Yeah,
I think you haven't had much time because you're playing all the Halos.
I have been playing a whole bunch of Halo lately. It's been kind of a nice change of pace. What I've been doing with my Steam Deck is, have you guys ever heard of a little game called Red Dead Redemption 2? A little bit of
No,
a sleeper hit.
no.
It runs pretty
that like
damn
some
well on
indie
Steam
game?
Deck. It's like a whole bunch of cowboy mini games. Yeah, it runs super well on Steam Deck. I am blown away by how pleased I am with this experience. Like, to put it in perspective, Cyberpunk 2077 was playable. Wasn't great, but it sure was Cyberpunk as a Game Boy, and that's awesome that we're there.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2, I think I could actually, like, I don't have it set to 60 FPS. I have it dropped off to limit to 40 FPS. And I think that was the golden ticket to making this game real tolerable as a portable.
Yeah, 30
Wow,
frames a
how
second is
much
a bit
10
too much.
FPS makes 10 FPS makes such a huge difference.
Well, it makes such a huge difference when it's, a 25% increase.
And then I
Like-
get back to my desk at home and I got it in 144, and holding it in
Yeah.
my Steam Deck is just like, ooh, why am I playing a GIF?
We're gonna move on to me. We do have a lot of stories to talk about today too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Did you blow anything up in Space Station 13?
Yeah, I was gonna mention it just because it was kind of a funny story, but if we okay, so
Do it.
sometimes as a clown, things happen that involve the consumptions of large amounts of like kerosene and jet fuel and other sorts of volatile explosive stuffs.
Yep.
It's just a day in the life of a clown. Other times you get challenged to basketball because somebody builds a basketball rink in the escape bay. And what happens is if you do really well in basketball, you know what they call that?
Boom shakalaka?
No, but that'd be funny too. They say that you're on fire.
Oh,
You know what happens when
yeah.
you're on fire with a stomach full of kerosene and fuel and other sorts of explosive stuff, phlogiston, napalm. It go boom. And yeah, I blew up the escape bay of the station playing
Why was there
basketball.
napalm on the space station?
That might have been my doing. There
Oh.
is a pill I like to make at the beginning of the rounds called jerk pills. And if someone's really egging me on, or if someone's really deserving it, I trip them and I feed them a jerk pill. And it's not anything that'll like instantly kill you. It's not like like neurotoxin or something like that. But it will maybe set your blood on fire.
oh, good.
Well,
And I think that's the right amount of punishment to get. So like if you have to go to medbay, you're not going to want to continue fighting or doing whatever it is that you're frustrating the clown with. It's just a good deterrent.
Yeah, but they
Always
don't
be clowning.
generally die because of it.
Not if they're smart.
Okay. So I hear Aroa approves so much that he's purring into the microphone.
As Aroa is wont to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Space Station 13, it's a great game. Some of the wackiest stuff I could ever like. What other game does that happen in?
I cannot think of another game that you can blow up the station by playing basketball. So
And
you are correct.
It might not ever happen, and for that reason alone, I say I support Space Station 13.
Good.
But yes, we should go on. We do have a lot of stories.
So
Stanley Parable as well. It runs great on Steam Deck.
good. I played some Overwatch this week. I played some more Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker sagas. The only problem I have is I'm not doing all the side quests like Connor did. And so if you're just playing straight through, each episode is like an hour and a half long. And since I tried to stream for 3 hours, that makes me like I have to go do some of the side quests to kind of pad out the time, which is fine. They're fun games. I also noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but were these released as 3 separate games before, and then
Yes.
Okay, because
That's why it's called Skywalker Saga.
well, not necessarily, but sure.
Well, that's why.
Okay, so I noticed that it appears 4, 5, and 6 probably released first because some of the mechanics that were in 1, 2, and 3 were tweaked a little bit. Like the different sagas or whatever are a little bit different with like the mini games and some of the puzzles that you do. So it appears that I was correct in saying that they were released as 3 separate games and then just joined as one big pack, and probably refined a little bit from there. But they're good. I played through 4, 5, and 6, and then next week I am going to play through 7, 8, and 9, which of course is everyone's favorite trilogy of the trilogies. Is the Rey stuff, right? Everyone likes that. The Force Awakens.
I don't know who is this for. Is this for the audience?
I don't know.
What, ray tracing?
Yes, ray tracing. Have you never
Ray tracing Palpatine?
Have you ever? You don't watch movies, do you, Aroa?
No.
Yeah. So you
I will maybe watch like one movie a year.
Have you ever seen all of the Star Wars movies? Or
I've seen episode 1 and episode 3. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
That's okay.
That's fine.
I
I
only
guess.
recently, like in my late 20s, went through and made it a conscious effort to sit down and watch all the Star Wars.
And they're good.
I mean, they're okay.
I
used to like not like Star Wars, and now I'm just okay with it.
I like, of course, 4, 5, and 6. I actually kind of like The Phantom Menace. I hate Attack of the Clones, and I thought that Revenge of the Sith was a pretty good movie. I think that's the one. The third one with the number 3. I thought that was pretty good, especially the child murder part is great. And then I also played some of the private server on Final Fantasy 11, and I think I figured out why after all these years I still enjoy Final Fantasy 11 even if it is a lot slower than modern MMOs, and that's because of the community. 2 examples. One, I went and I was doing some solo fighting, and I ended up killing the creature, but they had cast poison on me before they died, and I had 6 HP left. So I was not going to live. And I turn around and there is a group partying, 10 feet away from me. And I run up and I'm like, can I get a heal? Can I get a heal? And the white mage of the group just healed me to full, which was great. and I haven't really experienced that in a lot of other MMOs. So like the sense of community and just like people being willing to help you. And another example of that is I've explained what notorious monsters are to you guys before, but basically like in World of Warcraft, they're elite monsters, right? Like they're named characters. And they will sometimes drop special items. And so I killed one and I got what's called an item called Fruit Punches that can be upgraded. They're a level 1 item that can be upgraded to a level 10 item that has better, slightly better stats. But to upgrade it, you need 81 crafting, and that, it only goes up to 100 crafting. So in order to get these upgraded, you need to basically have max level crafting. And the server that I'm on is a month old. So I was like, man, I want to get these upgraded, but I need to find somebody. And so I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to go look on the auction house. And I checked the auction house and I saw a couple names of people who had sold the item that I wanted to upgrade to. And so I was just like, I wonder if this guy's online. I search, see that he's online, and I shoot him a message. I'm like, hey man, I got some Fruit Punches, to the name of the item. Can you upgrade these to tropical punches for me? Of course, I'll pay you and whatever you need. And it's like, yeah, just shoot them over to me. I was like, how much do you want me to pay you? And he's like, I don't care. And so I just gave him an arbitrary amount of money, and he just made me the items without asking or anything like that. Which, again, is not something I feel that I would do in any other MMO like World of Warcraft or Black Desert Online or anything. So
that wasn't even a thing you could do until this expansion in WoW.
Really?
Yeah, like having other players crafting actually matter in any capacity at all didn't really happen until the previous expansion, and this expansion they've made it like a central part of your gear upgrade path. So like now you can they have it built into the game now where you can put in a recrafting order and then either send it to the public or to a person in particular.
Oh, that's cool. Like that they've added it. It only took 19 years. But but like I know with World of Warcraft it's different because most of the items that, at least before this expansion, most of the items you would just get through raids. You didn't really upgrade or anything like that. It was just items from raids. In Final Fantasy,
PvP, yeah.
Yeah, in Final Fantasy and some of those older MMOs like EverQuest, crafting was hugely essential. And in Final Fantasy, it's weird. So you can get one crafting up to 100, and then all the other ones you can only max up to 60. So in order to get 100 crafting on every, crafting profession, you would have to start multiple characters, which nobody did. They just, they're like, I'm going to go for making food, or I'm going to go for leather crafting or whatnot. And I just randomly found this guy and just sent him a random message, and he was like, yeah, sure thing, no problem. Which I think that's part of why I like MMOs, but also especially like Final Fantasy, and to a lesser extent Final Fantasy 14 also has a really good community that will help you out. But we should get moving on some of this here stories that we have. We got some cancellations. Got a couple stories of cancellations, but the big one is Ubisoft. They don't care how you say it. Is canceling 3 unannounced games, and they are delaying Skull and Bones. The big one, of course, that they're canceling is Splinter Cell VR, Connor.
No.
I'm sure
that sounds dope as hell.
Yeah, well, it's getting canceled apparently.
Boo.
Skull
sound dope as hell though?
I'm bad. I'm bad at Splinter Cell. Like
it's not even about that. Just like
it sounds
just
cool.
Think of a fully idealized, like a fully thought out first-person VR stealth game like that. I've been saying for a long time now the VR scene is waiting for a stealth boom. It's such a no-brainer for for the immersion of it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the closest thing we've got right now is either
Phasmophobia,
Thief Simulator,
Uh,
Thief Simulator, or Hitman.
oh yeah, okay. Hitman is pretty close to actually what I'd be looking. No, maybe even more if it was like someone did Metal Gear Solid. I mean to say, in VR, like the first one.
If only they did
That's probably
Splinter Cell.
If only. That's probably a little closer to what I'm looking for, I guess.
Apparently these unannounced games getting delayed, or I'm sorry, scrapped, and Skull and Bones being delayed partially has to do with some of Ubisoft's 2022 titles not doing well. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope and the great game Just Dance 2023, they didn't do very well. And so they're kind of shifting their what they want to release. And
Ubisoft has been dying for years,
yeah,
so
It's been a slow bleed out.
yeah.
it's funny they
And
didn't. They're like, we've canceled unannounced games, but they didn't. I wanted them to. I wanted to at least know what games they were, what the names were. Like if we would have known what they were at all, but
It
doesn't appear that way.
it could have even been stuff that was still like in the early stages, or
Yeah.
in the case that they were like licensed games, then that would have been bad for them if they would have come out and said, "Yeah, we canceled this." I don't know, Batman game
Yeah,
or
and
something.
it says that so Skull and Bones is a pirate simulator game that they want to release at some point. Looks like they want to release in 2024 now, because it was supposed to release in 2023, early 2023, and now it's been pushed to 2024.
Well,
And from what they're saying, it appears that they want it to be more of a like live service game than they were making it before, which I hate live service games.
And your ship is on the blockchain.
it started out.
No, God, no.
It started out, and it was just going to be basically like a multiplayer version of the pirate ship shit.
Sid Meier's.
Well, it was going to be like a PvP version of
Black Flag? Is that what you're
Creed
thinking?
Black Flag. And it was just going to be like 1v1 ship battles. And as time has gone on, they keep expanding the scope, which, as we all know, expanding the scope of your previously very focused game over time always goes well. And everything is very elegantly integrated, and nothing feels slapped together whatsoever. I'm sure that Skull and Bones is going to be a fantastic game.
What is this? It's Skull and Bones, Citizen? I don't know what you're talking about. I cannot wait until it does. They announce ship packs that you can buy for $45, up to $1,000, or
No, it'll be either $10 a ship, or you could buy two for 20. How would this work? You get $22 in a packet, but if you want to buy another one, I'm trying to think how like League of Legends always does it, and I'm not doing too well. If you buy enough money, you can buy one, but not enough of one. Is there a term for that?
Yeah,
price gouging.
Gouging?
Well,
that doesn't sound right.
There's some terminology for it, but yeah, it's very common in the mobile market.
And that's exactly what they would do.
Yeah. Or thankfully, I think that Ubisoft hasn't gone down the hole of the NFTs as bad as some other companies.
They wanted to.
They tried.
They wanted
the
to.
community laughed at them.
Yeah. Didn't Sega want to do NFT stuff with
Probably.
Sonic? Yeah. Bad mojo. So
you
hopefully,
can't put an NFT inside of a pachinko machine, though.
yeah. No,
Not where
that's
the money is.
yeah. I am still tentatively excited for Skull and Bones, but we'll have to see how it frickin' works out. So
It'll be $80, or you can buy the $150 version that doesn't come with the game.
oh, good, but it does come with a replica model of one of the ships.
Yeah.
So, and it glows in the dark. But we're gonna move on, and we're gonna talk about something Connor really likes. Paizo. They're the guys who make Pathfinder, right?
Yes, Paizo does make Pathfinder. Did I share this story? I don't remember if I shared this story or not.
I think I did.
you did.
I
Okay.
think I think
I
we
was gonna
talked
say, I
about
could-
it.
I could tell you the real skinny version of this.
Please
But
do.
okay, so you guys, as we discussed last week, might recognize that a lot of games use this thing called the OGL, the Open Gaming License. This has been something that's been around, to my knowledge, at least since Pathfinder. It's either 3.0 or 3.5 where it came around. And the whole idea of this was,
You mean
hey,
I'm gonna back up here. You mean Dungeons and Dragons 3.5?
what did I say?
You said Pathfinder 3.5.
Yes, D&D 3.5 is correct. Oh, my apologies. The whole idea of this is like, hey, creative people out there are gonna make zines, and why don't we go ahead and help you out, and you can make content for us. Whatever you guys are gonna do anyways, you might as well be funneling it through us, right? And it wasn't so much just to like get the ownership of that. It was more just to like get people making stuff for this platform that was ready to have a boom. And now that everything is awful in the year 2023, they're trying to quickly pull the rug out under everybody and say, well, if you want to upgrade to the OGL 2.0, we're going to have to retroactively say that we get, I want to say it's a percentage of the total net profits that you made on the product or something ridiculous like that.
I believe it's 25% of profits over $750,000.
And
Okay.
That's kind of ridiculous just to slap such a price tag because you wanted to support somebody's system. To which the entire rest of the community apparently has agreed. It has not stopped trending for the last week or so. And now they're turning around and making something called the Open RPG Creative License, cleverly titled ORC. Get it? Because it's a fantasy world and they got orcs.
I don't get it.
Okay. Some of the highlights of this is that it's not just limited to the Pathfinder/Starfinder platform that Paizo has made. This is for anything that you want to play. If you want to publish it and say, hey, this is made to be compatible with this new game that's not even out yet because it's intended to work with things that are made after the fact. You could publish it under this license. You could say that this is distributable and accessible under ORC. And just being able to use that alone allows you to publish works that otherwise you might not be able to. You might be able to see companies like Dungeons and Dragons / Hasbro saying, well, that looks pretty close to ours, so we're going to sue you for everything that you made. Which is what they're hoping is going to come out of this if they don't get people to switch over.
Yeah, so I do want to do momentarily talk about an update. I don't have it linked as a story, but apparently because of all the backlash, Wizards of the Coast have basically said that they're going to they haven't basically said. They said that they messed up and they are going to redo the Open Gaming License so that people can use it like they did before, with some slight modifications. But they basically came out and just said they fucked up, and they actually said they rolled a 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And
They
the art
get
they
it.
used was the art from Counterspell, because they own Magic the Gathering. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it appears
Whoopsies.
that all of us nerds berating them made them change their intent for the Open Gaming License. And I guess when D&D 4.0 came out, they actually changed the Open Gaming License but for 4, but
They
they
released a different license.
They
They released it under a completely different license.
Yeah, but it did so poorly and was so negatively received, 4 was, that when they came out with D&D 5, they put that back under the old OGL, which
Right.
I think is pretty great.
I kind of even remember back in the heyday of 4th edition, people being like, why would I play this?
Yeah.
It's not really able to be supported by a community.
Yeah.
You can't do things like have the PFSRD where your rules are available online for free.
I also should mention I watched a video about the situation yesterday.
I think I know what video.
Probably.
Yeah, legal.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Legal's
Yeah.
video. So, with that extra detail, this probably wouldn't have been as immensely catastrophic, at least once all of the legal dust settled. It was just a very big knee-jerk reaction from the community, and a rightful one, I would say. It's bullshit whenever you have a license like this that's out here for this long, and then you suddenly replace it with one that's far more constricting.
Roa is getting attacked by a cat.
Yeah.
So constricting, it assaults you if you step out of line.
Yes.
But the main thing that I got out of it was that kind of similar to cooking recipes, you can't really copyright a rule set per se. You can copyright the wording of your rule book, but you can't copyright the rules.
Yeah.
So really what Wizards of the Coast was trying to get out of this, and is going to continue trying to get out of this, is that if you use their terminology and their books and that sort of stuff, that you have to abide by their rules. And a lot of that too, I think, was kind of similar, which he didn't go into this, but the wording of their reasoning made it sound to me like they wanted to keep entities from putting content out there that wasn't quite so friendly to most people.
Yeah,
they say they don't want racist people and like TERFs advertising their game.
Yeah, that makes sense. And they don't want, like, you can put, so if we came out with like the Reeton adventure module or whatever, and we could say this module is compatible with Dungeons and Dragons 3.5, but we can't come out and say this is, or I'm sorry, Dungeons and Dragons 6, let's say, when that comes out.
No, they're gonna call it D&D 1.
Oh, right, they're doing D&D 1. So, we could say it's compatible with D&D 1, but we can't say it is officially licensed with D&D 1 or something like that. But you could still come out and say it is compatible with this system and get away with doing it without having to pay that fee that they wanted.
The curiosity then comes up, well, can you use, say, monsters that were created by Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons and Dragons?
Nope, I actually already know the answer to that one. That one is strictly under copyright.
Yeah,
I can give it a couple other examples, but things like Beholders, for example, if you're not a D&D Hasbro or whatever, it's not going to happen. But go on, please.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to get at. It was like stuff that are essentially just taken straight from classic high fantasy shit, like elves and stuff. That's all cool. I would assume that kobolds are fine too, since they show up in a lot of other fantasy media. But yeah, more specific things and like named entities in certain modules, that's all going to not be allowed. And that would probably be where some of the anxiety comes in, of knowing it did Wizards of the Coast invent this creature, or is this just a thing? I don't know. And
then there's
gets...
but then there, as you're saying, so there's like characters, right? So like Drizzt, you're not going to be able to use without that being under it, or certain places like Icewind Dale, right? Because Icewind Dale is a very popular place in Dungeons and Dragons that you might not be able to use unless you have part of that OpenGL license and all that jazz. I don't know. I don't make modules for games, so that seems like it takes a lot of work with not as much payoff as you would really want. But
I feel like Hasbro / Wizards of the Coast would have been a lot better off just like, making their products and their tools as good as third-party products and tools instead. You know,
No, don't want to
maybe
do that.
maybe then they would have made money.
I am.
I actually have a really good idea on this in case any Hasbro Wizards of the Coast execs are listening in on here.
I'm sure they are.
Here's what you do. You want D&D 1 to be like the one-stop online portal for everything. You want it to be both Roll20 and PFSRD. You want it to be the place that people go for whatever they need related to your game. You want to make money off this? You say, hey, you could publish under OGL 2.0 or whatever you call it. You could, do whatever, make it accessible. But if you want to make it available on our online services, like as a part of our game, as a plugin in our service, as a page that has a wiki link in it, whatever. Got to pay up the license.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I am happy that because of all the backlash, Wizards of the Coast have come out and said that they're going to change it to make the verbiage a lot better and clear. And then I am happy that Paizo has come out and basically said, "Hey, you're good. If you want to use Pathfinder stuff, go ahead."
Hold on, it's coming out of the printer now. I got a fresh copy here, and this is just an ASCII of a middle finger.
Yes, exactly. That's coming out of the fax machine that we definitely all have. The Reetin Entertainment fax system I have set up at everybody's house. Oh,
That's
man.
how we get all our breaking news.
Exactly.
How else would we communicate, honestly?
I fucking hate faxes. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about something good, kinda. So Google Stadia is shutting down, and that's good. But also, they are making it so that the Google Stadia controller is having unlocked Bluetooth support. So you can use your Google Stadia controller with any device that, will support it. So mainly PCs, but then I'm sure there are other, like your phone, Steam Deck, stuff like that, where you can use your
Oculus
Google Stadia.
Quest.
Yeah, Oculus Quest. That's good.
You laugh, but that's gonna be a target audience for this sort of thing.
I like this because I remember I've said it before on the podcast, but I feel that it must
300 times.
Must be reminded that I have the OnLive thing. I had the OnLive box because a friend gave it to me for free. He went to, I think, PAX, and they gave it to him, and he's like, "I'm never gonna fucking use this. Do you
They were
want
literally
it?"
giving them away.
Yeah.
Please take them from us.
And so it is a paperweight, and I thought, okay, maybe there's a way for me to take this little mini console and hack it, like put something on it so I can play it like just like a NES emulator or something. There is no way to hack it, the online one, and the controllers don't work for anything. So I am happy. Yeah, it's a paperweight. That's all it is. So I am happy that at least Stadia is doing something, and also they didn't have any real dedicated hardware. So like their dedicated hardware was a Google, what was it called? Chromecast.
Yep.
And so that's like they're just gonna actually just have a Chromecast, and that's not a bad deal either.
I have a great idea for what they should do with their infrastructure once it goes down. You boot up like a non-modded version of this. I want it to go to that Google page that happens when you don't have internet connection. That like you could play with the controller, the running dinosaur one.
Oh.
Yeah. The I forget what it's called. Dinosaur Jump or whatever.
I have no idea. I don't really use Chrome.
I do.
I think that'd be an adorable idea.
That would be.
If for all of those Google programming execs who are listening in.
Yeah, I'm sure they're listening, and they're definitely going to do that. But we've got 3 more stories to cover. This one is stupid. YouTube is testing a free ad-supported streaming service.
Oh wow, what a new and novel idea. How will YouTube possibly pull such a thing off?
Yeah, and this is from Gizmodo. It says YouTube announced it is introducing free ad-supported streaming channels in a product test as the company grows its video platform. First off, isn't that just YouTube? Is a free ad-supported streaming service?
No. This is like Netflix.
Oh, okay. The new hub, known as FAST, would create competition for other industry players, including Roku, Pluto TV, and Tubi. The rollout was first reported by Wall Street Journal and be part of a test experiment in the United States, which will appear in YouTube's movies and TV storefront. Okay, so it's not. See, when I first read this, I thought it was going to be only.
Website.
Oh yeah, I thought it was only going to be on the YouTube TV app. But it appears that is not the case. It does say the hub will introduce up to 100 titles on YouTube's mobile devices, web browsers, and the YouTube on TV app, but not YouTube TV, the YouTube on TV app. That's
so
different.
The YouTube app for TV and smart devices.
Yeah. This is dumb.
So they're just making a Tubi competitor.
Basically, yeah. It says the company.
If you know anything about Tubi, that's where you get your bottom of the barrel fucking garbage. Like shit that's not good enough for Amazon Prime streaming ends up on Tubi.
Yeah. That's it. It doesn't look. It's not going to be great. But they said the company will. Also said it will introduce more than 1,500 movies in high definition, and the ones that this is their selling. They're trying to sell YouTube, the new free service, and the movies that they have decided to sell that with were Gone in 60 Seconds, Runaway Bride, Runaway Bride, and Legally Blonde. 3 movies that came out in the late 90s. That's how they're trying to sell their new high definition 5.1 surround sound. And there was a quote from a YouTube spokesperson saying YouTube is the only place where viewers can find everything they want, and we're always looking for new ways to provide viewers a central destination to more easily find, watch, and share the content that matters most to them.
YouTube, I can't watch porn on your platform.
And all right, I got $20 in my pocket. I got $20 reduced right here. I will slap this on the table. I bet that this whole project started as a plugin, like in Google, that takes you remember in the early aughts when you could watch basically anything on YouTube, but you'd have to watch it in part 1, part 2, and 10-minute snippets.
That's how I watched all of the original Dragon Ball.
I watched quite a lot of television like that myself. I bet this started as a plugin that replaced those videos jumping to one another with just an ad or whatever. And then once it started blowing up, they're like, we can make a platform out of this.
Yeah. I hate ads on YouTube. And
they literally pay $20 a month to get rid of ads on YouTube.
I thought about it. I thought about it. Paying that I've thought about that. I've also thought, I wonder if Pi-hole can just block ads on the Roku. I've been looking at ways to try to get rid of the ads on YouTube because they have been so egregious lately. I don't want another thing where I have to say, I'll seriously watch something for 3 minutes and then it'll be another ad, and it's annoying. Where it used to be just halfway through the video you get an ad, that's fine. But now it's terrible, and I've been researching ways to get rid of it. And is it $20? I thought the YouTube ad free was.
I'm paying for family.
Oh, okay. So it's you, your wife, and a couple other people.
No, it's just me and her. But it's either 1 or 5. Those are your options.
Oh man, I have a question. And that question is, how do you get Connor and I on that? We're family, right?
I'd have to look and make sure that you don't get access to anything else. I don't think you do. I had YouTube TV for a while, and it's the same. You can have 5. It's actually really good, to be fair. YouTube TV. It was too expensive without other people paying for it because it started being $65 a month. But yeah, it added in, you just add their email address, they accept it, and then they're part of your family. And with YouTube TV, each person gets their own DVR and everything. It was pretty great. It's just nobody used it and nobody else was paying me for it, and I didn't want to pay $65 a month for it. So yeah, it's probably just that easy. So if you guys have a family plan,
Share that with as many people as you can before they take it away. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about something really sad, another thing getting canceled, but you can get it for free if you get it before sometime in the future, January 23rd. If you get it before January 23rd, you can get it for, I think, very free. It's Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle. Has anybody heard of this?
It's a reskin of another game.
Oh, okay.
It has its own little things here and there, but it's a puzzle game where you gotta kill all the kids. You gotta do it.
I mean, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's Slayaway Camp is the
Interesting.
original game. But yeah,
So-
they
so-
just reskinned it with Friday the 13th stuff.
Yeah, this is from Destructoid. It says, the Killer Puzzle is a loving tribute to the slasher franchise that you could ask for. For the most part, it follows the rules of the film series. Jason can just appear behind anyone he sees, is weak against drowning, etc., etc., etc. And it features about every iteration of the hockey masked horror icon as you can ask for. But unfortunately, as we've discussed before with this particular franchise, licensing is an issue. We have, hello? Hi, Mr. Bigglesworth.
Yes, Aurora was
Oh.
very excited about licensing discussions.
So, basically, this happened with the Friday the 13th game that Aro and I played, which was, I forget what it's called, what type of game it's called, but it's basically 5-on-1 horror game.
Asymmetrical horror.
Asymmetrical horror. And there's a huge legal case with the Friday the 13th movies, deciding who's going to be doing what and who owns it. And so they had to stop production on that Friday the 13th game, which ended up killing it. And I think that the same thing is happening here, where they're not doing any more development, but they can't renew the license after the license ends. And so they just have to give it away for free. And I will probably grab this. Will either of you grab this puzzle game where you murder children?
They're giving it away for free so that as many people can have it as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be removed from storefronts entirely.
Oh, so it's going to be removed from storefronts entirely. But my question is, after you get the game, after you add it.
Yeah, you have access to it forever.
Okay. Because
That's just part of the terms of service for most app stores.
you say that.
I
am
know.
I am still mad that I bought the Simpsons arcade game on the PlayStation 3 and I have no way to access that anymore. Because they won't
Well,
even let you
not legally.
re-download. That's true. I can't legally access it. But I paid. They should have refunded. If they're gonna do that, they need to refund you the money. That's bullshit.
I agree.
Anyway, go to Steam if you have it and go download Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle for free, or at least just add it to your library. That way it's there in case you ever want to play it. And our last story of the day, I think this is one that Aroa brought up. Also, before we do that, I hate the thread system in Discord.
Why?
It looked dumb. Like I went to the thing and I was like, why the fuck? It's right there. Why are you starting a thread when it's right there?
Well, because I didn't want you to bitch about us having a bunch of messages in case there was a conversation that propped up from it.
Okay. So it says NVIDIA's
'Cause you
email
bitched
verification.
about that before.
I have because that's where the news stories go. That's not where the discussion goes. That's a
Aroa,
Fucking nerd.
I would love to have a discussion with you in the news stories chat.
Can't wait to ban my friends. NVIDIA's email verification service went down today, but apparently it's back. What were we gonna say about this?
Okay, this is the story that I posted. Yeah, and I think this is the exact reason why NVIDIA shouldn't have. Well, okay, they don't force it, but they sure do like it when you have to log in order to just update your drivers.
Yeah. Yeah,
This
that's
story
bullshit.
is from 3 days ago, so it's already been fixed, luckily. But around noon on what was 3 days ago? That was Wednesday,
The 12th.
the 12th, Thursday. It was Thursday. Around noon, if you were in the process of updating your NVIDIA drivers, perhaps you were building a new computer and getting it ready, you were kind of SOL. You were unable to do so because the server that validates email sign-ins was totally out. I don't really feel like reading this entire article. We got other stuff that we got to talk to. But the outage was based off of a plugin. Plugin stopped communicating with anything that was trying to communicate with NVIDIA's validation servers. I'm talking too fast, excuse me. And the issue was fixed shortly after. So it's sort of a not story anymore, but the time that I did post it, yeah, if you had NVIDIA cards and your drivers were out of date, there was nothing you could do except go to their manual page and update the latest one from there.
That's how I
But that
always
sort of-
update anyway. But
That defeats the purpose of having the GeForce experience in the first. Like, it's gonna
Uh,
try to optimize my games and usually not do the best job of it.
Aroa
lot
is so
of,
excited about this story.
A lot of normies, like, they don't even know how to get drivers unless it's through GeForce Experience now. So, like, it's always been fucking stupid, and they used to not force it. You used to not have to log in to just get drivers. You only had to log in if you were using any of the other services like GameStream, or if you wanted the optimization bullshit. But
I know some people who just don't update their stuff.
Well, you shouldn't do
like,
that.
Like I know somebody who is like, my phone isn't working for this particular thing, and I was like, when was the last time you updated that app? And they're like, I don't know. Oh, okay. Let's make sure it's updated, and then they update all their apps, restart their phone, and it works fine. It's just people don't even think about it really, because with GeForce Experience, it tells you, and then with like Microsoft, it'll just be like, hey, we're updating your fucking system. Okay.
whether you like it or not,
Yeah, it
like
might
it's-
break something, but it's better than you not updating your fucking system.
Except when it breaks things, because that certainly does happen
that
sometimes.
has happened too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do feel like Microsoft actually has been pretty good, to its defense, at not updating my computer when I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah,
11 got a lot better with that.
10 also got better with that, where it'll tell, like on my work computer, it'll be like, hey, we're going to restart after hours, after you're done working. And then with my home computer, the same thing. It'll be like, hey, updates are available. You should probably do that at some point. But it doesn't just shut down your computer. And to be fair to Microsoft as well, when Windows 10, if you have, let's say, a not quite, like you haven't put a license key in, it doesn't really do anything. You can still use the operating system. You can still update Windows 10. Everything works fine. With Windows Vista, do you guys remember the security that they had for Windows Vista if you didn't have a valid key?
I assume it was the same as XP,
What was that?
where you'd go to log in and then you'd just get a big box that says you don't own Windows. You gotta put in a key or fuck you.
No, it was slightly different, where it would turn your computer off every 2 hours.
Oh,
That's fun. See, some of us used Gangster Edition of Vista that had Scarface on the loading screen.
yeah,
nice.
boy.
I have told you guys before on this podcast as well. When I first started IT, I went up to one of the computers and I was like, "That's weird. It's saying that there's an invalid Windows Vista key in this computer." And I went to my boss and I was like, "Why is it? It's like showing a black screen. Like I've seen this when I pirated Vista." And he's like, "Oh yeah, the person before us, not me. I'm not that stupid, but the person before my boss and I got there would pirate Windows Vista Ultimate and put that onto every computer that he deployed at the company." And I was like, "Oh, I've only been in IT for 6 months now, and that sounds fucking terrible." And my boss had told me that, at least at the time, I'm not sure how the licensing agreements work now, but if you are out of compliance to that order, like if you're out of compliance with your keys by like, less than 10 keys, they'll just be like, okay, just buy the keys, you'll be fine. But if you're out of compliance by like 100 keys, they will charge you for that key and then charge you 5 times that amount on top of that. So you're paying 5 or 6 times for that key. And then also which I wouldn't be surprised if like Office was pirated as well, you're paying 5 or 6 times for that as well. So that could literally bankrupt a company if you did that. So yeah, don't do that.
I used to work at a place that did that.
Yeah, haven't we all? Have you ever worked at a place like that, Connor?
Yes, but it wasn't like enterprise wide. It was only on a couple devices, and like we didn't put them on the network. I don't think it would have been an issue.
Yeah, I think again, if it's 1 or 2, they're not really gonna get mad. But if it's widespread, that's a problem.
These are at like half a dozen car dealerships. Every one of their computers.
Oh, good.
Pirated copies of Windows 7 at the time.
Anyway,
Like the device that does printouts, like you put in a USB with the spreadsheet and it gives you a data printout that you put into a record somewhere. I don't think that one was ever legit.
probably not.
So yeah, BBB, let me know. I'll snitch for money.
But anyway, I would like to thank you, Aroa, for being here.
I was here.
And I would like to thank you, Connor, for being here. I am going to go edit this. Well, I'm doing that with quotes. Edit this podcast and then see if they want to, if Chat GPT wants to write my opening next week.
Oh, no.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ask it to do it like in the style of... Oh, no. There was a broken...